So we got some major news coming out this week. It's confirmed that they're making another Transformers movie. And it should be coming out June 29th, 2014. It's set to return Michael Bay and some of the amazing producers like Steven Spielberg and other producers as well. When I first heard the news, I was semi excited for it, because when the third one I was fine with, because it can kind of conclude the story for me when you killed Megatron and all of the Decepticons. And then I said, my thing is, what can you do after that? Now, the producer said it's gonna be like a hybrid type of movie. It means it's gonna be like a slightly reboot and a slightly a sequel. Meaning that it's gonna be like new cast members, not bringing back Shia LaBeouf, which he already said that he's not. The third one was his final movie anyway, and continuing the story. Now, my major concern is this. After you killed Megatron off, now Megatron is more than the major antagonist for Optimus Prime and the leader of the Decepticons. So my thing is, what can you actually do after Megatron is dead? Now, you can't bring him back because you killed him off in the first one, but then you brought him back in the second one. So you can't bring him back because, thinking about it, it's kind of redundant doing that same thing over and over again in the fourth movie. Unless you bring back a lesser known enemy in the Transformers history, or you bring in a whole new enemy that the producers or writers created. With Transformers, I'm a big Transformers type of guy. I like the franchises. I like the first one, second one, and third one. Second one was okay for me, but I still enjoyed it. Third one, I think, was great. The first one is just like a classic for me. Now, when it comes to franchises like this, for me, it should only be like 3 movies for me for a franchise, because a lot of third movies in a franchise are really not that good. So when you go to a third movie, make it into a fourth, you're kind of pushing the limit a little bit. For me personally, now a lot of franchises actually do good with fourth movies. Now, the only franchises I'm thinking that does good with movies like this is you got the Fast and Furious franchise, where you got Justin Lin directing those movies. Now, that was kind of like refreshed, new story, new different characters you got in there as well. So the story doesn't get too tiresome. So you kind of refresh it from there. Also, too, you got Mission Impossible, those movies. Now, they just came out with a fourth one, so that fourth one was pretty good. So I guess you can go that way when it comes to that with Transformers, but not a lot of them actually do good when it comes to fourth movies. It's very, very rare. That's the only 2 franchises I actually think has actually pulled it off in years past about doing a fourth movie. Other than that, there's nothing else. But Transformers is a big cash cow. People will see it regardless. I would see it regardless. But for me, the story has to be good. It has to make sense for me, because Michael Bay is not really a story guy. He's more of an explosion guy, so he doesn't really care for story. But the story really has to make sense for me. Other than that, I would go see it in 2 years. But don't sacrifice it for just the sake of making it. Make it good. All right, just make it decent so everybody can enjoy it. Everybody's going to enjoy it regardless, but make it good where it doesn't get too redundant or too refurbished. Other than that, that's the major news for this week. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Subscribing does help. And until next time, Movie Nation.